धिमिरन्धनाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिधि नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे। Hare Krishna. Welcome all to our Bhakti Vaibhav course. I seek the blessings of all the devotees present. So, we can discuss on this topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, we had completed successfully 2 chapters, and today is the third chapter. Mm. So, we have 7 chapters total to cover, and I was thinking tomorrow is Ekadashi, so day after tomorrow we can give off. How many of want off day after tomorrow? Really? So because 7 chapters, 7 days we are completing one chapter. So I hope in 7 days we will complete. So 3 chapters, today is third, and then next week four chapters. So Friday is not required because I am also going to Vella and I will for Ekadashi. So Friday, huh? Friday I will come little late afternoon and like so. So you can have off. You can enjoy. Today we'll do third chapter. Then next week we'll complete the other 4 chapters. Yeah. So talks between Sati, Lord Shiva, and Sati. So till now, the first chapter we saw how Daksha curses Lord Shiva. And first chapter was genealogical table, and then second chapter was how Daksha curses Lord Shiva. That first yajna happened, and now Daksha is going to conduct another yajna. And in that, he calls everybody except Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. Brahma also is not called. So then, seeing so many of the demigods going for the yajna, Sati is speaking to Lord Shiva. So that conversation is there. And this has only 25 verses, so not much. So we'll cover, and I have some video clip also of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj that connected to this. So we'll see that also. Okay. So first verse. Actually, yesterday some devotees asked some question, uh, like Sham Jagannath Prabhu, Rishabh Mani Prabhu, they are asking about this first in that in that chapter where this first yajna is happening. So what Lord Shiva could have done? Means, like yesterday I told Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says he is also contaminated by mode of tamoguna, but it is not in that connection. He says in the first incidents where the yajna is going on and where Daksha curses. So what Lord Shiva did was perfect there. He just kept quiet and went. But now in this chapter, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur gives where there is conversation between Sati and Lord Shiva. When the second yajna is beginning, so there Sati is saying that we should go for this yajna. So that time Lord Shiva remembers all the insults he's been done by Daksha. So that time he is affected in the heart. So that time Jiva Goswami Krishna Chakur Thakur says, we will see that although Lord Shiva is Atmaram, but still he is affected. So because he is contaminated little bit by Tamoguna. So in this connection, not in that earlier connection, the first yajna he was like perfectly whatever is done is okay. Then second time, this he is affected within. That's what little slight contamination is there. That's all. As compared to Lord Vishnu. So in comparison to Lord Vishnu, that is contamination, little. He felt insulted. He should not have felt anything because he is Atmaram. That's what he says. So that was the thing. Okay, so we'll recite together. मैत्रेय उवाच सदा विदिष्टयोरेवं कालो वैद्रियमानयो जामातु श्वश्रुषापि सुमनः
Maitreya continued, in this manner, the tension between the father-in-law and son-in-law, Daksha and Lord Shiva, continued for a considerably long period.
Purport also.
The previous chapter has already explained that Vidura questioned the sage Maitreya as to the cause of the misunderstanding between Lord Shiva and Daksha. Another question is why the strife between Daksha and his son in law caused Sati to destroy her body. The chief reason for Sati's giving up the body was that her father Daksha began another sacrificial performance to which Lord Shiva was not invited at all. Generally, when any sacrifice is performed, although each and every sacrifice is intended to pacify the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu, all the demigods, especially Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, and the other principal demigods such as Indra and Chandra are invited and they take part. It is said that unless all the demigods are present, no sacrifice is complete. But in the tension between the father-in-law and son-in-law, Daksha began another yajna performance to which Lord Shiva was not invited. Daksha was the chief progenitor employed by Lord Brahma, and he was the son of Brahma. So he had a high position and was also very proud.
So here Jiva Goswami says that Lord Shiva did not hate Daksha, but he hated his ignorance. Just like a father hates the ignorance of a child. Like that. So it is not like hating him, but he is hating the ignorance. Like that he says here. And we see Lord Shiva, he is not ordinary living entity. He is not living entity, of course. So he is like Shiva Tattva or Shambhu Tattva, which has like normal living entity has 50 qualities. Shambhu Tattva has 55. And Vishnu Tattva has 60. and Lord Krishna has, of course, 64. So anybody knows which are the extra five qualities Lord Shiva has than normal living entity? Sachidananda body, yeah, one of that is that. Sachidananda is all cognizant. Yeah, good. All cognizant, and he has Sachidananda body, and yeah, that all cognizant, in that it comes. And here the five qualities are there. I think in NOD it's there. First is changeless. Is changeless. That's given. Then all cognizant is ever fresh. Is third. Fourth is his body is Satchidanand. And fifth is he is Yogeshwar. He has all mystic perfections. And these are the five qualities, extra qualities which Shambhu Tattva has than the living entities. Like that. Like changeless first, then all cognizant is ever fresh. His body is made up of Satchidanand. And fifth is he is Yogeshwar. He has all mystic perfections. Like that. So these are the five extra qualities in NOD. So Daksha, all cognizant. Satchidanand is like spiritual body made up of Satchit Ananda. The NOD is there. I just copy pasted. All cognizant is he knows past, present, future, and he's like Paramatma. Some similar. There may be some slight difference. Changeless, ever fresh, like that. Yes. Mm. Hmm. Hmm. He feels bad, insulted. That. Hmm. Hmm. Uh, there, Lord, the Vishwanath Thakur there gives why he feels insulted, why he feels bad there, because Varadev, seeing the demigods and Lord Brahma, they feel very bad that Lord is insulted, and seeing them, out of compassion, he feels bad. It's like that he mentions, Vishwanath Thakur. So it's not directly by his insult, he is feeling bad, Varadev. But he sees the other demigods, including Brahma, they are feeling bad that Lord is insulted, and seeing them out of compassion, Lord feels bad. So it's not like directly because of insult. So that mention is there. So because Lord's body is like perfect. Even in Bhrugu's case we've seen, it's like clear case where he's hit by Bhrugu on the chest. Lord never took an offense, never internally, not that externally he was showing and internally he was feeling. We see that Bhrugu's that Chinna is still on Lord's chest. Otherwise, Lord wouldn't have kept if he had felt insulted. You know, he would have banished Bhrigu forever. And he keeps that as a decoration on his chest. So that itself proves he is not affected by insults. And in that case, this explanation is given. So compared to Lord Vishnu's behavior, Lord Shiva, that contamination is there. He felt insulted here, and he is now again remembering when Sati asks, "We'll go." He feels, he remembers. Normal living entity will remember anyways. There is no question. But it's in comparison to Lord Vishnu that it's mentioned that there is contamination like that. So, so uh, yeah, yeah, that is mentioned. Vishnu Chakra Thakur says like that's out of compassion. So Daksha's very high position, and he is feeling proud because he is thinking himself as the father-in-law, and Lord Shiva as son-in-law. Mm. So he has influence, he has position. So there is a saying that the length of our life is not in our hand, mm, and the breadth of our life is not in our hand, but the depth of our life is in our hand. Our length is how many years we will live is not in our hand. The breadth is the influence one carries in his life. You know, so many followers, so many people, and the influence he has. That is also like a karma. Hmm. So that also is fixed. The length and breadth is fixed, but the depth is not fixed. Depth is how his consciousness is, how he lives a life with such a consciousness. That is not fixed. That is unlimitedly one can go deep. Hmm. So Daksha's influence, he had very high influence. That is there, but his depth was not there, which Lord Shiva had in his life. So in our life also, we may feel life may be short, or I don't have so much influence. The breadth, I don't have so much breadth in life. But the depth is in our hand, how much deep we can go in our life. So the depth is very important. So that we see in Lord Shiva's case. So another incidents when Shikshashtam was telling this one, again were real incidents. uh, how Daksha he's feeling that he is superior because he is father-in-law, although Lord Shiva is superior, although he is son-in-law. So one case he was telling, which happened again in America. All crazy things happen there. So, so one person, one boy, maybe of 25, 30 years old, he actually fell in love with a girl who was was already married and divorced. Mm. And she was like maybe around that age only, 25 to 30. Uh, so they fell in love and they were like meeting each other. And but this when this boy man proposed that woman that we will marry like that, so she agreed and she said, but the condition is I have a girl, previous marriage, and she was around like that 15, 16 years old or like that. So then you have to accept her also along with me. So the boy agreed. Yeah, no problem. And then when they were about to get married, they were getting married. So this girl, the father of this boy also had come, in the marriage. Yeah. And when this father of the boy saw the girl of this 16-year-old girl, and the father maybe 40 or maybe 45 or whatever. So they got attracted to each other. And then they fell in love and they were meeting, dating, and then later they decided to marry. Now how complicated is the relation? So now they got married, they also the father and the girl. So now this boy's father has become son-in-law. It's true story. So the so now what should he call the father? Father or son-in-law, damad, like that. Because so he is superior still. Although he is son-in-law, but he is still father. He should respect him as father, or he should respect him as son-in-law. What respect he should give? You know? If he is there, sitting like this case happened, and son comes and his father doesn't stand, so he should stand or not stand as son-in-law. If anyway, that similar case happened. So Lord Shiva is superior and in tattva, so his not standing is not a problem. And although he didn't stand purposefully, we will see later where Lord Shiva says he was in meditation. And then Sati also argues, Vishnu Chakur Thakur gives argument of Sati and Lord Shiva, which is not there in Bhagavatam, but that conversation is there. She says, you should have stood up that time, when Daksha came. Why didn't you stand? She asked Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva says, actually, I was meditating on Paramatma. And when one offers obeisances to anybody, actually, he is offering obeisances to Paramatma. So, my meditating on Paramatma was actually offering obeisances to Daksha also. So, why he should feel bad? You know, because anybody, like devotees, we offer obeisances, we are offering obeisances to the Paramatma in the heart. So, like that, I was meditating on the Paramatma. So, when Daksha came, so I was meditating on Paramatma. That means I offered him also obeisance. So then Sati said, but on that time only, why you went in meditation? उसी समय क्यों meditation में जाना था? You could have meditated on Paramatma some other time. No? That time you could have stood up. Then Lord Shiva says that samadhi is not in my hand. When your Lord manifests within, then I get in samadhi. So that is in Lord's hand, not in my hand. Like that argument comes ahead like that. So Daksha was proud and he didn't call Lord Shiva. So that's why there is some tension there. Second verse. यदा यदाभिषिक्तो दक्षस्तु ब्राह्मणा परमेष्टिना प्रजापतीनां सर्वेषाम् अधिपतये स्म यो भवत्.
When Lord Brahma appointed Daksha, the chief of all the Prajapatis, the progenitors of population, Daksha became very much puffed up.
Next. इष्ट्वा स वाजपेयेन ब्रह्मिष्टान् अभियुच बृहस्पति सवं नाम समारेभे क्रतुताम्.
Daksha began a sacrifice named Vajpayee and became excessively confident of his support by Lord Brahma. He then performed another great sacrifice named Brahaspati Sava.
You can read purport also.
In the Vedas, it is prescribed that before performing a Brahaspati Shava sacrifice, one should perform the sacrifice named Vajpayee. While performing these sacrifices, however, Daksha neglected great devotees like Lord Shiva. According to Vedic scriptures, the demigods are eligible to participate in yajnas and share the oblations, but Daksha wanted to avoid them. All sacrifices are intended to pacify Lord Vishnu, but Lord Vishnu includes all his devotees. Brahma, Lord Shiva, and the other demigods are all obedient servants of Lord Vishnu. Therefore, Lord Vishnu is never satisfied without them. But Daksha, being puffed up with his power, wanted to deprive Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva of the participation in the sacrifice. Understanding that if one satisfies Vishnu, it is not necessary to satisfy his followers. But that is not the process. Vishnu wants his followers to be satisfied first. Lord Krishna says, Mad Bhakta Puja Vedika. The worship of my devotees is better than the worship of me. Similarly, in the Shiv Puran, it is stated that the best mode of worship is to offer oblations to Vishnu. But better than that is to worship the devotees of Krishna. Thus, Daksha's determination is to neglect Lord Shiva in the sacrifice was not fitting.
Hmm. So here, although he was conducting this, he conducted this Vajpayee sacrifice, and then after that, Brahaspati Sava. So first, second, third, almost three sacrifices. Third one. So like that, he didn't call Brahma and Lord Shiva. He neglected them. So Prabhupada is writing that Lord Vishnu is not pleased by that. Lord Vishnu is more pleased if his devotees are worshipped. Mad Bhakta Puja Abhidekya. So here the worship of my devotee is better than worship of me. So actually in the Rupa Goswami, when he gives that verse of definition of pure devotional service, Anya Abhilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavritam Anukulena Krishnanu Shilanam Bhakti Ruttama. So in that he Jiva Goswami in his Tika, he says that Krishna means what? Krishnanu. So in that Krishna means Lord Krishna is all the incarnations and his devotees. All are included in Krishna. Krishnanu Shilanam. So in that Krishna's devotees also worshipping Krishna's devotees is as important as worshipping Krishna. So here Daksha is committing Vaishnava aparadh. And what is the definition of aparadh? Aparadh is apahati radh iti aparadh. Apahati is which one stops, blocks. Radha is satisfaction. That which stops satisfaction of the heart is aparadh. So here Daksha commits aparadh by not calling Lord Shiva and Brahma. He is not calling the devotees of the Lord. So we see that devotees of the Lord are given much more importance than the Lord. The worship of the Lord, the worship of devotees is much more given much more importance than the worship of the Lord. So that bhrityasya bhritya bhritya, that verse is there. So how many times that comes? Bhritya, like 7 times. And one should be like worship of devotees is best worship. Aradhananam sarvesham Vishnu aradhananam param tasmat parataram devim tadyanam samarchana. So many verses are there where uh, the devotees' worship is greater than the worship of the Lord. So, but here, Daksha conducted sacrifice worshipping Lord Vishnu without his devotees. So, Vishnu was not happy. So, once Navin Niratpuru was telling this incidents when he had gone for book distribution. Hmm. So, he was in Udupi, had gone for darshan. And he was distributing books. And once there, the Swami of that mutt, one of the sannyasi, he was going from there along with his disciples. So that time, Navin Neerath Prabhu is so enthusiastic. He went and showed the book to him only. To the sannyasi, please take this book. So that sannyasi became little startled, that how somebody is showing book to me. Along with his disciples are there, others. So he was little surprised and he little bit felt angry that why this fellow is showing. And then he asked him, "Who are you?" Who are you? Like that. In a sense, how you are showing book, like that to me. Who are you? And Navin thought, "Arey baap re, abhi thoda galti ho gayi." So then he humbly said, "Gopir Bhartur Padakamale Das, 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 Anudas." Like that he said. I am the servant of 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 the Lord Krishna. Then he was happy. He smiled. And then he took one book. So this is very nice to remember. Who are we? We are the servant of servant of servant of devotees. Become more the we become servant of devotees, the Lord is more pleased, rather than directly approaching the Lord. So like that. But never show book like this to a sannyas. It is dangerous. They feel offended. Like that. Okay. Pardon? Brahma also, he in the previous chapter we saw, he condemns Brahma also there. He's, Lakshmi, and he became excessively confident of his support by Lord Brahma. He then performed another sacrifice. But whether he called or not, I don't know. Daksha, while performing the Daksha neglected Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and other demigods. Huh. Lord Brahma. Support means support, na? He's like, he's thinking he is son of Brahma. So he's confident. कोई कुछ बोल नहीं सकता मुझे. मैं बड़े बाप का बेटा हूँ ऐसा नहीं क्या. He was confident of that. So like that he didn't call. And Brahma also, actually later it comes that he also felt not to go because he knew कुछ तो गड़बड़ होने वाला है. So Brahma also didn't want to go. Brahma Shiva knew that गड़बड़ होने वाला है उधर. इसलिए they also avoided. And he also didn't call. So that's why he didn't go. Hmm. 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 So he was puffed up, and that's why he deprived Lord Brahma and Shiva of the participation. And yeah, so so he thought he will please Vishnu directly without pleasing his devotees. Hmm. 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 Yeah, yeah. So here is in connection because this demigod is Lord Brahma is pure devotee, Lord Shiva is pure devotee, and without them he is conducting the sacrifice. So he is offending them. It's like that. So Brahma here is considered as a devotee. No, they are all obedient servants of the Lord. Yeah, but others were called. Only Brahma and Lord Shiva were not called. Other demigods went. You know. So he not calling Brahma and Lord Shiva is considering Vaishnava Parat because both are devotees. Like that. So here they are not demigods as such, but devotees, considered as devotees. The other demigods were called. So their Vidhi Purvakam is there. If somebody is worshipping demigods only, as demigods without connection with Lord Vishnu, so that is like that mentioned. Vidhi Purvakam. Fourth verse, no? तस्मिन् ब्रह्मर्षय सर्वे देवर्षि पितृदेवता आसन् कृतः स्वस्त्या नस्तत्पत्न्यश्च
While the sacrifice was being performed, many Brahma rishis, great sages, ancestral demigods, and other demigods, their wives, all were nicely decorated with ornaments, attended from different parts of the universe.
next तद उपाश्रुत्य नभसि खेचराणां प्रजल्पतां सती दाक्षयानी देवी पितृयज्ञमहोत्सवम् वर्जन्ति सर्वतो दिग्भ्या उपदेव वरस्त्रिया विमानयानः सप्रेष्ठा निष्ककण्ठी सुवाससा दृष्ट्वा स्वनिलयाभसे लोकक्षीर्मृष्टकुण्डला पतिं भूतपतिं देवम् औत्सुक्यादभ्यभासत.
The chaste lady Sati, the daughter of Daksha, heard the heavenly denizens flying in the sky conversing about the great sacrifice being performed by her father. When she saw that from all directions the beautiful wives of the heavenly denizens, their eyes very beautifully glittering, were near her residence and were going to the sacrifice dressed in fine clothing and ornamented with earrings and necklaces with lockets, she approached her husband, the master of the Bhutas, in great anxiety and spoke as follows.
Purport also.
It appears that the residence of Lord Shiva was not on this planet, but somewhere in outer space. Otherwise, how could Sati have seen the airplanes coming from different directions towards this planet and heard the passengers talking about the great sacrifice being performed by Daksha? Sati is described here as Dakshayani because she was the daughter of Daksha. The mention of Upadeva Vara refers to inferior demigods like the Gandharvas, Kinnaras, and Uragas, who are not exactly demigods but between the demigods and human beings. They were also coming in planes. The word Nilaya Bhyashe indicates that they were passing right near her residential quarters. The dresses and bodily features of the wives of the heavenly denizens are very nicely described here. Their eyes moved, their earrings and other ornaments glittered and glared, their dresses were the nicest possible, and all of them had special lockets on their necklaces. Each woman was accompanied by her husband. Thus they looked so beautiful that Sati, Dakshayani, was impelled to dress similarly and go to the sacrifice with her husband. That is a natural inclination of a woman.
So, so here all the demigods are going, and Sati is seeing that, and seeing that they all the denizens flying in the sky with their consorts. They are going. She also feels to go for the sacrifice. So here in the third canto, the verse comes, Yat sankulam haripadaniti matra dushtair वैदूर्यमारकट हेममयर विमाने एषां बृहत् कटिस् तटस्मित शोभि मुख्या कृष्णात्मनम नन आदुधुर usmayadhi. So in this verse, it describes that even in the spiritual world, like that scene is there, where in the big plains made up of gold, the men and women they go together. But although they are very beautiful, they are not attracted to each other because they are hearing the glories of the Lord. They are more attracted to the glories. But here, in this demigods going, so it's not like that. So same similar thing, but they are attracted to each other by seeing the beauty. But this happens in the Vaikuntha, but in Vaikuntha they are not attracted. Like that Prabhupada writes in that third canto. So there now the big festival is going to take place. Utsava. Mm. So the meaning of Utsava is, anybody knows what is the meaning of Utsava? Yes, literal, etymological. Utsava is festival. This Bhakti Samrat Maharaj says Utsava. Utsava is Ut means to remove and Sava is misery. That which removes the misery is Utsava. Hmm. So everybody likes Utsava. Manav Utsava Priya. Hmm. उत्सव सबको अच्छा लगता है. Some festivals are happening, Balaji, Vaikuntha Ekadashi, or some. So we like utsav. Something utsav is there, then we become very excited. So Sati also likes That is some utsav is going to be there, festival. She also wanted to go. So many of them are going. Hmm. So she also wanted to go. So, but Lord Shiva is so detached. Hmm. He hardly worries about any utsav. He's always meditating on the Lord. That is utsav for him. But Sati wants to go. Huh? Hmm. So Priya. So we are also having those qualities. Bhojan Priya, no problem. Utsav, Manav Utsav Priya. So again, this I heard from Shikshakshanam Prabhu's lecture. So in Thailand, they have a big festival. Hmm? Utsav. Hmm? So this Utsav is very special. Hmm? So they have a special coffee served there, which cost, one cup cost rupees 5,000 rupees. 5,000 rupees, one cup. What is the specialty in that coffee? उस कॉफी में तो एक श्रीमद् भागवतम सेट आ जाएगा ना 5,000 का. So very special coffee. You want to know how that coffee is made? This Thailand, the most expensive coffee. So they this coffee beans are there. They grow there, coffee beans like that. And those beans, coffee beans, they feed to the elephant. And when the elephant passes stool next day, from that those coffee beans are taken. It's true story. That is called elephant poop coffee. So that is so costly. That is very famous there. In the festival, they drink this coffee. It's made from the elephant poop coffee. So a lot of people go from all over the world to participate in the festival. Manav Utsav Priya. Hmm. But it doesn't remove the misery.
And for Bhagavatam, they will tell we don't have money.
Yeah. So if somebody says no money, then we can take this example. So like that, the Utsav, so there is Utsav, and Sati wants to go, but Lord Shiva is detached. Hmm. So Sati wants to decorate as a woman. She says, I am a woman and I want to decorate myself. I want to wear nice jewelry and wear nice sari and go with everybody like all others are going. You don't feel anything, or Lord Shiva doesn't feel anything, you know. He feels good. I don't have to go in the sacrifice now. Hmm. Otherwise, he had to go. Because of the curse, now he is relieved. Hmm. But Sati wants to go. So like that, there is similarity between Tukaram Maharaj and Lord Shiva. So once there is festival in the Dehu village, and this wife of Tukaram Maharaj also wants to dress nicely and go for the marriage, his marriage. So she tells Tukaram Maharaj, you also come, we'll go together. He says, no, you only go. I am happy here, I will keep chanting. You know? So then she immediately goes to decorate, get ready. So many of her other women friends are going, decorating themselves and going for the marriage. So she also wants to go. So Tukaram Maharaj is chanting inside the house. And that time then she goes for a bath and she wants to get ready. So she goes for a bath, and on the wall of the bathroom she hangs her sari, and she has only one sari in her life. Tukaram Maharaj couldn't afford another sari. So that so then that time when Tukaram Maharaj is in the home, somebody, one old lady comes to house and she knocks the door and she says, please bhiksham de. So what you want, Tukaram Maharaj? She says, I some this sari is stone, I want some nice sari. Do you have some sari in your house? And Tukaram Maharaj says, yes, yes, please wait. He cannot say no to anybody. He goes and searches. He sees sari on the wall of the bathroom. He takes that and gives to her. And then he knows now what will happen. So he goes to the forest for chanting. And then inside, how is he? My God, their sari was there, and all the friends are calling, Are you are coming or not? We are going for the festival, come quickly. So she says, yes, yes, I am coming, you go ahead. Like that she says. And then she thinks, where is the sari? Where is the sari? She doesn't have any other sari. And she knows that Tukaram, this Tukya. That example is given, just like a scorpion bites and then goes and hides somewhere. She says that Tukya has taken my sari and he has hidden himself somewhere, he has gone. And then she, for a long time, she's anxiety, she's cursing Tukaram. Then Lord comes to the rescue. The Lord knows what will happen to Tukaram if he doesn't help. she will bite him. So then Lord comes and gives his pitambar, you know, which is such costly pitambar, and he hangs there. Which is and she then she wears, and then when she goes out, then that time everybody is surprised. Such a costly sari you have, and we always thought you are poor, very poor, but you have such nice costly sarees in the house. How come you have got such nice, yellow pitambar she is wearing, and she goes like that for the marriage. So like that, Lord Shiva is also somewhat like that. Both are avdut, but their wives are not avdut, so they want to go. So then she tells to Lord Shiva that we'll go. 8th verse. Sati uvaच प्रजापतेस्ते श्वश्रुस्य साम्प्रतां निर्यापितो यज्ञमहोत्सवः किल वयं च तत्राभिशरामवामते यदि अर्हितामि विबुधा व्रजन्ति हि.
Sati said, "My dear Lord Shiva, your father-in-law is now executing great sacrifices, and all the demigods, having been invited by him, are going there. If you desire, we may also go."
Next. तस्मिन् भगिन्यो मम भ्रातृभिस्वकैर्ध्रुवं गमिष्यन्ति सुरुद्रदीक्षवा अहं च तस्मिन् भवताभिकामये सहोपनीतं परिभ्रम अरितुम्.
I think that all my sisters must have gone to this great sacrificial ceremony with their husbands just to see their relatives. I also desire to decorate myself with the ornaments given to me by my father and go there with you to participate in that assembly.
So in the last few lines of the purport, you can interesting Prabhupada writes 4 lines last above. It was fortunate for Sati that Lord Shiva did not take the ornaments from his wife and spend them for ganja, because those who imitate Lord Shiva in smoking ganja exploit everything from household affairs. They take all their wives' property and spend on smoking, intoxication, and similar other activities. So the ornaments were still there, which her father had given. So that's why she is saying, I will decorate myself with the ornaments given to me by my father. Lord Shiva never gave any ornaments. And he didn't, of course, take those ornaments and sell them for ganja. Prabhupada is writing. So she is very much eager to decorate herself and go for the festival. Next, 10th. तत्र स्वशुर्मेननुभ्रातिर्संमिता मातृस्वश्रीक्लिन्न धियं च मातरं द्रक्षे चिरोत्कण्ठमनामहर्षिभिः उन्नीयमानं च मृडाध्वजम्. Yes. The sound, button is on.
My sisters, my mother's sisters, and their husbands, and other affectionate relatives must be assembled there. So if I go, I shall be able to see them, and I shall be able to see the flapping flags and the performance of the sacrifice by the great sages. For these reasons, my dear husband, I am very much anxious to go.
So she is saying, yeah. त्वय्येतद् आश्चर्यम् अजात्ममायया विनिर्मितं भाति गुणत्रयात्मकं तथापि अहं योषिरतत्त्वविच्च मे दीनादृदिक्षे भव मे भवक्षितिम्.
This manifested cosmos is a wonderful creation of the interaction of the three material modes, or the external energy of the Supreme Lord. This truth is fully known to you, yet I am but a poor woman, and as you know, I am not conversant with the truth. Therefore, I wish to see my birthplace once more.
Few lines you can read.
The Chinese Sati knew very well that her husband, Lord Shiva, was not very much interested in the glaring manifestation of the material world. which is caused by the interaction of the three modes of nature. Therefore, she addressed her husband as Aja, which refers to one who has transcended the bondage of birth and death, or one who has realized his eternal position. She stated, the illusion of accepting the perverted reflection, the material or cosmic manifestation, to be real is not present in you because you are self realized. For you, the attraction of social life and the consideration that someone is father, someone is mother, and someone is sister, which are illusory relationship, is already over. But because I am a poor woman, I am not so advanced in transcendental realization. Therefore, naturally, these appear to me as real. Only less intelligent persons accept the perverted reflection of the spiritual world to be real.
ठीक है. So here she is saying that I desire to go for the festival. Hmm. And although Lord Shiva doesn't want, but she wants to go and she's trying to persuade. I am a poor woman, I don't know the truth, I don't know. I am under the external energy. Actually, she is only external energy. She is under external energy. You know, even Maya can fall in Maya. Yeah, amazing. She herself is saying, but I am a poor woman. As you know, I am not conversant with the truth. Therefore, I wish to see my birthplace once more. Hmm, like that. So we see how Sati, she is persuading Lord Shiva for going to the sacrifice. You know. And then later, when Lord Shiva is not very much agreeing to go, she becomes angry on Lord Shiva also. And she says, we'll go, what is the problem? And like that. So she was so adamant on going. So Sati is compared to a mind. You know, sometimes when the mind uh, is fixed on something, it is not ready to change. Hmm? It happens. Huh? Somebody has experience of like that. Mind, ये करना है तो करना ही. So no matter anybody tries to convince us against that, and we are ready to do. So like that, Sati, she is so much convinced that she will be very happy by going to the sacrifice for the festival. Mm. And no amount of convincing her is working. She wants to go in any case. You know, she's so angry, and ultimately, of course, she goes. So, so the mind has this nature, and now when she goes actually there, the sacrifice, so there she criticizes Daksha. Now here she criticizes Lord Shiva and praises Daksha. So she says that you should have stood up. Why didn't you stand? I think you have envy for my father. Like that she says. And she looks at so angry Lord Shiva that is about to burn, it is said. You know? So she thinks that now she is condemning Lord Shiva here and praising Daksha. And when she goes there, she praises Lord Shiva and condemns Daksha. So mind is like that. Mind thinks of the other side is always greener. Hmm. The other side of the river is always greener. Mind says. In that situation, I would be very happy. But when you get that situation, you feel, oh, that situation was better. So we had experience when we were doing engineering. So that time when we are doing engineering, so first year, generally boys they have a special disease that is called homesickness. We had, who will remember home, so nice home. And some of the boys in the initial first year, they left college only because of homesickness. Some of them. So like that, then we are in the college, we are with friends, and then we want to go home for some days. We go home, we feel very nice. But after some days, what do you feel? अरे वो दोस्तों के साथ अच्छा है इधर क्या है nobody is there friends are not there then you again feel like coming back to the college and with friends but you stay here for some time उधर अच्छा है like that yeah, the mind is like that it toggles it toggles flips or we have experience of bus party also when we are in bus party we feel अरे कितना ठंडी है इधर मंदिर कब जाएंगे मंदिर में अच्छा है when you are in temple for some days you feel इधर ज्यादा गर्मी है थोड़ा बाहर जाना चाहिए we should go out also it is fun outside going so mind toggles yeah. इधर बाहर गए तो फिर मंदिर कब जाएंगे मंदिर जाएंगे थोड़ा बाहर कब जाएंगे फिर so like that Sati is like that so mind is like that she was there and she was actually going in and out Prabhupada writes and she was so much in confusion. She was afraid when she would go out there, I should not displease Lord Shiva. She would come inside. I have to go to meet my father. She goes out. So only my question was, where is the room? In the room Prabhupada mentioned. There no room only. The translation Prabhupada says she was going in and out of the room. But they don't have any room only. There is no room for room there. Hmm? So maybe under that tree she was going. Tree is there. Na? There is no room. Prabhupada writes there room. So like that, mind also flips. Ye acha hai. Then you feel that devotee is that devotee is so nice. He has this skill, that skill. But we don't know that what that devotee has what other problems. This devotee is very fortunate because he has such nice facility. He is doing this preaching, that preaching. But when you go in that situation, he has different sets of problems. He is thinking that devotee is very nice. So some situation we think that situation is nice, that situation is nice, except my situation, all situations are nice. But others are also thinking in same way. So the grass is always greener on the other side. And there is scientific reason also why the grass looks greener. We have seen actually, you have seen sometime. The river is there, and there is, if you are on this side, and the grass is there on the both side. So when you see the grass on which you are standing, doesn't look green so much, and the grass on the other side of the river looks greener. I was trying to, when we went out that time, why it looks greener. Any time observed? It looks greener, but why? Although it is not. Both are green, but that looks greener more. Hmm? Acha. Okay, any? What? Yeah. Because you are standing there, na? So the grass you see is like quite spread out. You see grass, but not so green. But on the other side, the grass is all together. Na? You see from distance, so grass is all together. So the color becomes more bright, greener. Actually, it looks greener on the other side. It's like that. But where you are standing, it looks so. So it's like broader picture. Here we see so many things, so many problems are there in my life. But he doesn't have any problem. So only if I would be in that situation. So like that, mind gives trouble. Hmm? Mind wants to change the situations. वो अच्छा रहेगा. That is better. When you get that, ये अच्छा नहीं. That must be better. So like that, Sati is like that, doing like a mind. She wants to go, wants to go, wants to go. And when she goes, there she commits suicide. So Lord Shiva knows that. Why he allows her is because he knows if, like Radha Govind Maharaj says, if she stays here, she will commit suicide here. If she goes there, she will commit suicide there. Better is commit there only. नहीं तो पुलिस केस हो जाएगा महाराज से. इधर सुसाइड करेगा तो इधर पुलिस केस हो जाए. You go and die there. So like that, Maharaj. So because she is so much she wanted to go, Yeah, she's so adamant. She's not ready to listen at all. So we'll see how she gives so many arguments. 11th we completed? Yeah. 12th. पश्य प्रयान्तिरभवान्ययोषितो अप्यलङ्कृतः कान्तसखावरुषसा यासां व्रजद्भिः कण्ठमण्डितं नभो विमानैकलहंस पाण्डुभिः.
O never born, O blue throated one. Not only my relatives, but also other women, dressed in nice clothes and decorated with ornaments, are going there with their husbands and friends. Just see how their flocks of white airplanes have made the entire sky very beautiful.
Hmm. So here Lord Shiva is addressed as Abhava, which means one who is never born. Hmm. Although generally he is known as Bhava, one who is born. Rudra, yeah. So, so she is saying, oh blue-throated one. Hmm. So now the Acharyas give that why she has called him Neelakantha, or a blue-throated one. What is the exact word here? Alankrita Kantha Sakha. Shitikant. Yeah. Or Neelkantha. So, Shitikant. So, the Acharya says that because that time when he drank poison, he out of compassion he helped the demigods. So now also show compassion on me and help me. Like that she is saying. That's why she addresses as Nilkant or Shitikant. So when Lord drank the poison which was there in the ocean hole, he concentrated and drank it and kept in the throat. Hmm. So that's why his throat became blue. So the significance of that is what? What we learn from that pastime is when we hear somebody's faults, we should keep it in the throat. Means where we should not speak it to others, neither it should affect us. Yeah. Inside taking inside means affecting, and then taking out is like speaking. So when we hear faults of others, we should keep it in the throat so that we don't speak to others and we don't get let it affect others also. Let it affect us also like that. So that's why here she is calling Nilukant. So how she is saying that I am attached to my place of birth and I want to see all my relatives and father, mother, everybody. So like that, uh, actually once we were in bus party long back, and we also have that this nature if we see our birthplace or our our people. So that doesn't go so easily. Hmm. So although Sati is saying I am woman and I have, but we also have in some quantity. Hmm. So once we were in bus party and I used to announce the names of whoever taken from your this village, this Raju Patil यांनी भगवद्गीता घेतल्याबद्दल हरे कृष्णा मंदिरातर्फे हार्दिक धन्यवाद. Like that, if we announce, then people like and they come and they say, हे घ्या 100 रुपये आणि आमचं नाव अनाऊन्स करा. भगवद्गीता पण द्या, पण नाव पहिलं अनाऊन्स करा. Like that, I was announcing, and one person name was some Sunil Dhangar, his surname was Dhangar. And Dhangar is a caste, which like I was, I belong caste Dhangar. So immediately I thought, oh, he's from Dhangar, same caste. Na? So I should talk with him and I should say that I am also from Dhangar. So you are from which place like that? Then about to tell him that I am also from same caste, I thought really am I of same caste or I am really now spirit soul. Or that was so strong. I was about to tell him that we are of same caste. Surname is Dhangar, ours is of same Dhangar, like that telling. But later I realized that how difficult it is. That doesn't go so easily. Our people, our caste, my place of birth. It's not so easy. So immediately and my father when he comes actually generally whoever he meets, he will ask first the caste only. From which caste you are? Oh, we are the same caste. You don't know. I said, don't ask devotees, at least. He said, Arey, you don't know that our security watchman is of our caste only. Never. उसको कौन caste पूछेगा? Whether you ask your caste and which is your place. For outside people, that is the main focus. And on that, they build relationship. Hey, you are also our caste. You are also from same place. Like that. So, so here Sati is saying that I have that. So I would like to meet my father and go to the place of birth. So we see generally we don't like to go to the place. Generally, we should not go to the place where we are born and preach in that place because that place everybody knows. Who is he? Who was he? क्या क्या गोल खिलाया इसने, So to preach in that place is little difficult. So only in history we have only one person who preached in his birthplace. Who was that? Who could successfully preach? Narottam Das, Kheturi. And he made the whole village into devotees and disciples. So that is very difficult to make our old place there and go and make them devotees. So recently one of our school teacher, she suddenly called me. I don't know how she got the number. She was used to teach us English and Marathi, and she got number from somewhere. And then she knew that I had joined this and like that, and she said, "Very nice, congratulations! I heard that you have joined ISKCON, and Somebody showed my photo also, and that your brahmachari there, very good. All the boys who are with you, they have gone in different direction, but this is most different direction. You have taken such a direction. I am proud of you, she was saying. Our Akolkar madam. Yeah. So then she said, I also want to get connected to ISKCON. ISKCON is very nice organization. So please tell me what all the things are there. How can I get connected? So then I told we have like this school, and then so she said, I can teach in your school, your BMS school. We have, so I can teach for free of cost. I will come there. I have 50 years of experience of teaching. I would like to come there. So I said, wait. I will have to tell the BMS in charge who is there, and so I had sent a resume to our Tulsi Prabhu and like that. But she remembers. She said, you are like my son. I have full adhikar on you. So you make sure that you do something for me. Like that. So like that, we feel suddenly so nice. Somebody from our school days, our school teacher, somebody else. So that connection is there. So bodily connection, it's very difficult to go. So Sati is as a woman, she is saying that I have still that connection. I would like to go and see my birthplace, my father, and all the friends who were there in the school or who were there that time. Like that, she would like to see. 13th. कथं सुताय पितृगेह कौतुकं निशम्य देह सुरवर्यनेङ्गते अनाहुताप्य अभियन्ति सौहृदं भर्तुर्गुरोर्देह कृतस्य केतनम्.
O best of the demigods, how can the body of a daughter remain undisturbed when she hears that some festive event is taking place in her father's house? Even though you may be considering that I have not been invited, there is no harm if one goes to the house of one's friend, husband, spiritual master, or father without invitation.
तन्मे प्रसीदेदम् अमृत्यवञ्चितं कर्तुं भवान् कारुणिको भातरति त्वयात्मनोरिद्यहम् अदभ्रचक्षुषा निरूपिता मानुग्रहाण याचिता. Yes.
O immortal Shiva, please be kind towards me and fulfill my desire. You have accepted me as half of your body. Therefore, please show kindness towards me and accept my request.
Hmm. So she's saying, I am your wife, half, Ardhangini. So you should hear and fulfill my desire. Hmm. So when Lord Shiva is also called Ardhanarishwar. Hmm. So he has given like half his body to her, like that. So we see this photo of Lord Shiva, half Shiva and half Parvati, Ardhanarishwar. So she is saying that I am your wife, Ardhangini. So you should fulfill my desire. So one devotee was telling that what is the another meaning of Ardhangi? Saraswata Arth. Ardhangini is one who makes your devotional service half. This Saraswati Arth. So Lord Shiva, actually he was peaceful, but this is not the direct meaning. This is Saraswati Arth. Saraswati sitting on that devotee's tongue, she spoke. That another devotee, I just heard that. So, so if we see the things were going so nicely, Lord Shiva was now peaceful. Because of Sati only things got worse. Sati, now things were settled, thoda shant ho gaya tha matter. Because of Sati now things becomes more worse. It's like adding fuel to the fire. So if she couldn't have wanted to go, things would have settled. So one past time I was hearing just this again Shiksha was telling of Govardhan Leela. This comes in Gopal Champu or Anand Champu, this detail, where once when Krishna had lifted, it's for this Ardhangini, we are discussing this word Ardhangini. So when Krishna had lifted Govardhan hill and for 7 days, 7 nights, and then later he had kept And then afterwards, all these gopis, they come along with Radharani and they come to Krishna and his friends. And they say, Vishaka says to Krishna, that all are praising that you have lifted Govardhan for 7 days, 7 nights. But the actual truth is, you never lifted Govardhan. You are not the cause. Hmm. You are not one who lifted. Actually, Radharani lifted the Govardhan. So Lord Krishna and friends, how? Hey, everybody saw I was lifting Govardhan for 7 days, 7 nights. I did so much mehnat, and I am getting praise. So how can you say that Radharani lifted? Hmm. I was there. I was lifting. So Vishaka says, we'll prove that how Radharani has uh, actually Radharani lifted the Govardhan for 7 days, 7 nights. So Krishna says, oh, okay, how? So Vishaka asks, so with which hand you lifted Govardhan? Which left hand? With left hand, the most small finger, with that I lifted. So Vishaka says, see, Radharani is your Ardhangini, right? Ardhangini means the left part of the body. Radharani is the left part, your right part. So left part of your body, the left hand lifted the Govardhan. So Radharani is the left part of your body, so Radharani actually lifted. So hence proved the Radharani lifted for 7 days, 7 nights, not you. So you should not take the credit, like that Vishaka says to Krishna. So she is the hence proved Radharani lifted, not Krishna, like that Vishaka says. So Ardhangini means actually, of course, she assists the husband in the devotional service and not what the other meaning that I told. So like that, Lord Shiva and Daksha, the tension went on. And then Sati is trying to actually, it's saying that removing the clot. When we get some wound, what happens? After some days, there is clot. But if by mistake the clot again gets removed, it's so painful. ना? फिर से खून आ जाता है वो clot निकलता है तो so like that now Sati is trying to remove the clot. Whatever clot was made there, the tension, now she is again trying to remove with her desire. So we'll take a break and we'll see one video small of Radhanath Swami Maharaj. The 8 instructions of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So that is connected to this. So please come in 5 minutes. We have a nice video. Hari Bol.